Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Learn English podcast channel, your favorite corner of the internet where we make learning English easy, fun, and practical. You're listening to the first episode of our English podcast series. I'm Harry.
And I'm Maria. We're excited to have you here. Today's topic is one that everyone can relate to, your daily routine. Whether you're a morning person or a night owl, having a routine helps you manage your time and get things done.
That's right, Maria. Everyone has their own routine, and today we'll help you talk about yours in English. You'll learn how to describe your day, from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. We'll also look at useful vocabulary, common expressions, and tips to make your routine sound more natural in English.
And as always, we've prepared a free PDF packed with new words, phrases, and examples to help you practice. So, be sure to download that after the episode.
Now, let's start with a quick overview of today's episode. First, we'll talk about why routines are important and how they can help you stay organized. Then, we'll listen to a conversation between two friends discussing their daily routines. After that, Maria and I will break down the conversation, highlight important phrases, and give you tips to describe your own day. Ready, Maria?
Ready, Harry. Let's dive in.
Why are daily routines important? Before we get into the conversation, let's talk a little bit about why having a routine is so helpful. Routines are important because they give structure to your day. When you know what to expect, you can plan ahead, stay productive, and make time for the things you enjoy.
Exactly. A routine can help you feel more in control, and it's a great way to stay on top of your work, personal goals, and even your hobbies. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone trying to organize their day better, having a daily routine makes everything run more smoothly.
And not just that, talking about your routine is a great way to practice English. You can use a variety of tenses to describe different actions. For example, the present simple is perfect for regular activities like, I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. You can also use the present continuous for actions that are happening right now, like, I'm drinking my morning coffee.
So, in this episode, we're not just learning vocabulary, we're also working on grammar and sentence structure. All right, Harry, what do you say we jump into today's conversation?
Let's do it. Now, sit back and listen to a conversation between two friends, Emily and Ben, as they talk about their daily routines.
Hey, Ben. How's it going?
Hey, Emily. I'm good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing well, just trying to stick to my daily routine. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah? What does a typical day look like for you?
Well, I usually wake up around 6:30 a.m., and the first thing I do is grab my phone and check my messages. I know I should probably get out of bed first, but it's such a habit now.
I think we're all guilty of that. So, what do you do next?
After that, I get up and head to the kitchen to make some coffee. I'm not really awake until I've had my first cup. Then I take a quick shower and get dressed. I like to keep things simple, so I usually wear something casual, jeans and a t-shirt.
Sounds like a smooth start to the day. What about breakfast?
I try to have something light like yogurt and fruit, or a smoothie if I'm in a rush. Then I usually spend some time checking emails or getting ready for work. I work from home, so I don't have to commute, but I still like to be organized.
That's great. My routine's a little different. I wake up at 7 a.m., and the first thing I do is go for a run. It really helps me wake up and feel energized for the day.
Wow, that's impressive. I've tried running in the morning, but I always end up hitting snooze instead.
It takes some getting used to. After my run, I take a shower, get dressed, and have breakfast. I usually make eggs and toast, sometimes with a side of avocado if I'm feeling fancy.
That sounds delicious. What do you do after breakfast?
Well, I head to the office. I work as a project manager, so my day is usually packed with meetings and deadlines. It can be stressful, but I like the challenge.
I hear you. My workday is pretty busy too, but I try to take short breaks to stay focused.
Yeah, breaks are important. So, what's your evening routine like?
After work, I usually go for a walk to unwind. Then I cook dinner, something simple like pasta or stir-fry. After dinner, I relax by reading a book or watching a show on Netflix.
That sounds nice. I usually spend my evenings at the gym or hanging out with friends if I have time. Then, it's dinner, some TV, and bed around 11 p.m.
Pretty similar to mine, except for the gym part.
Yeah. Everyone's routine is different, but it's all about finding what works for you.
Exactly. Well, it was great catching up, Ben. We should grab coffee sometime.
Definitely. Let's do it soon.
That was a great conversation. Ben and Emily both have different routines, but they each find a way to stay productive and fit in some time for themselves. Did you notice how they use different tenses to describe their routines?
Yes, that's a key point. Emily and Ben use the present simple to describe habits and regular activities, like I wake up at 6:30 a.m. and I usually make eggs and toast. This tense is perfect for talking about things that happen regularly.
They also use some expressions to talk about their preferences. For example, Emily said, I like to keep things simple, and Ben mentioned, I'm not really awake until I've had my first cup of coffee. These kinds of phrases are useful for adding more detail to your routine.
Let's go over some key vocabulary and expressions from the conversation. The first word is wake up. To stop sleeping and become conscious. For example, I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. The next word is head to. A casual way to say go to or move toward a place. For example, I head to the kitchen to make coffee. The next word is habit. Something you do regularly without thinking much about it. For example, checking my phone in the morning is such a habit. The next word is unwind. To relax and reduce stress after a busy day. For example, I go for a walk to unwind after work. The next word is commute. The journey from home to work. For example, I don't have to commute because I work from home. The next word is hit snooze. To delay getting up by pressing the snooze button on your alarm. For example, I always end up hitting snooze instead of going for a run. The next word is side of. A small portion of food served with a main dish. For example, I sometimes have eggs with a side of avocado. The next word is take a break. To stop working for a short period to rest. For example, I try to take short breaks to stay focused.
These expressions are really useful for describing your daily routine in a natural way. Now, Harry, how about we walk through the basic steps to talk about your own routine in English?
Great idea, Maria. Let's break it down step by step. Start with your morning routine. When do you wake up? What's the first thing you do? For example, I wake up at 7 a.m. I check my phone for messages as soon as I wake up. I head to the kitchen and make a cup of coffee. Describe your breakfast. What do you usually eat or drink in the morning? For example, I usually have toast and eggs for breakfast. Sometimes, I make a smoothie if I'm in a rush. Talk about your work or school routine. What do you do during the day? Are you a student or do you have a job? For example, I work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in an office. I'm a student, so I spend my day attending classes and studying. Mention any breaks or lunchtime activities. How do you relax or recharge during the day? For example, I take a short walk during lunch to clear my head. I usually eat lunch at my desk while catching up on emails. Describe your evening routine. How do you unwind after a busy day? For example, after work, I go to the gym to exercise. In the evening, I like to relax by reading a book or watching TV. Talk about your hobbies or free time activities. What do you do for fun? For example, in my free time, I enjoy painting and playing the guitar. I love hiking, so I try to go on outdoor adventures during the weekends. End with your bedtime routine. What time do you go to bed, and what do you do to wind down? For example, I usually go to bed around 11 p.m. Before bed, I like to watch a movie or listen to calming music.
That's a solid structure, Harry. And remember, your routine doesn't have to be super detailed. Keep it simple, but use a few descriptive words to make it interesting.
That's right. Talking about your routine is a great way to practice English because it's something we all do every day.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you enjoyed learning how to describe your daily routine in English.
And if you're not already following us, be sure to subscribe to the Learn English podcast channel for more fun and practical English lessons. We have a lot more great episodes coming up.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, learning a language is a journey, not a race.
We'll see you in the next episode. Take care and happy learning.